Muncie police officers have been the subject of several lawsuits in recent years concerning excessive force during arrests. Some officers facing federal indictments. Fox 59's Darius Johnson is live in the newsroom this evening. He's been looking into some of these lawsuits for the past year. And Darius, you have some new details tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Dan. This all started with civil lawsuits, which then led to a federal investigation. As more civil lawsuits are filed, it now raises the question, will there be more charges tacked on to the federal indictment? These three Muncie police officers, Chase Winkle, Jeremy Gibson, and Joe Cresa, are facing federal charges for alleged excessive force in their attempt to cover it up in arrests from March 2018 to February 2019. A separate civil lawsuit filed in May names those officers and 5 more, the former Chief Joe Winkle and the city. Were you aware that any of this was happening under your jurisdiction?
I don't have any comment, Darius.
It's one of 6 civil lawsuits filed against Muncie police in the last 2 years.
Well, I think at this point in time, you can say what it shows is, again, that various members of the Muncie community have sought redress through the court system.
Former federal agent Kathy Guider says this is still a small number of allegations compared to the number of arrests made.
Would only have 4 or 5 maybe that have gone into lawsuits. That's a very, very low number of their actual number of cases.
Emmanuel Montero filed a lawsuit after a May 2018 traffic stop alleging officers punched, kicked, and struck him multiple times with a taser and a baton, breaking 3 ribs. Montero's attorney says medical professionals were concerned he'd lose his eye.
They're similar in terms of maybe the nature and extent of the harm that is being alleged.
Attorney Rob King is talking about his client, Jesse Vernon, who filed his own lawsuit after his 2018 arrest.
Oh my God, please, I'm not doing nothing.
King says his client suffered several injuries.
It's a different mindset when you're the one out on the street, when somebody, starts to resist. That cranks your adrenaline up.
Delaware County prosecuting attorney Eric Hoffman says state or federal criminal charges against officers create a lot of issues with perception.
We've gone back, we've gone through, and we're in the process of doing that, looking at each of those cases where officers were involved.
It's the goal of pursuing justice, whether that means a conviction or dismissal.
Despite the pending allegations and the pending cases, I do not believe it's reflective of the Muncie Police Department as a whole.
Now, I did ask for the photos of the other officers who are named in that lawsuit. The department refused to provide them to me because they say that they are following guidance from their legal team at this time. Trials for the civil suits and for that federal lawsuit are scheduled for 2021. And, all of this comes on the heels of the department calling for more officers just on Friday. I'm live in the newsroom this evening. Darius Johnson, Fox 59 News.
All right, Darius, thank you so much. As Darius just said, 6 lawsuits have been filed in the last 2 years concerning arrests from March, April, May, and June of 2018 and February of 2019. All of those happened after former Chief Joe Winkle took over the department for a second time in 2016. Winkle left the department last New Year's Eve on his own terms.